Il y a un crowley là, qu'on voit là, à part de nous autres.
Je sais, mais combien? C'est quoi le chiffre en bas, le 6 ou 9?
8.
OK.
Ben, on est 4, 5, 6,
Quand
7.
il y en a un autre qu'on ne voit pas parce que.
C'est 7, ouais, on est 7. Ça.
Il reste 2 minutes.
Just a second.
Yo. Ça y est, ça y est.
Combien longtemps que M. Gary Conley avait été maire? C'est avant vous, hein?
Oui. Je ne peux pas dire exactement combien d'années totales, parce qu'il était maire aussi de la ville de Sturgeon.
C'est un terme. Un terme.
Un terme de la ville?
Il appelle ça un terme pour. Non.
Non, 5 ans pour West Nipissing.
Ben, il y a que 2 termes là-bas.
Ah, je savais que c'était juste avant vous.
Ben, les portraits sont là.
Ouais, c'est écrit, là.
Oui. C'est parce que je parlais avec ça, c'est ça qu'il disait, qu'il était juste avant Joanne.
Ah, ben oui, tu vois les affaires.
Excuse. Une seconde. Tu regardes ton cadran.
Après.
We still have the clerk?
On a fait tout le match.
Ah oui.
Portrait du film. Ça fait Children qui l'a proposé pour ça.
Oui, tout le monde est.
Okay, so it is 6:30. The municipality of West Nipissing respectfully acknowledges that we are gathered on the homelands of the Anishinaabe peoples on the traditional territory of the Nipissing, Temagami, and Dokis First Nations, covered by the Robinson Treaty. We honor and recognize this historic connection to the land and value their significant contributions in shaping and straightening our communities. La municipalité de Nipissing-Ouest souligne respectueusement que nous sommes réunis sur le territoire désigné dans le traité Robinson-Huron, territoire traditionnel du peuple Anishinaabe et particulièrement des Premières Nations. Nipissing, Temagami et Dokis. Nous honorons leur lien historique avec cet endroit et nous apprécions leur contribution significative à nos communautés. Bienvenue à notre réunion conseil. Welcome to our council meeting. If council can allow a few minutes, we do have a guest which is in council chambers with us. Donc, si le conseil peut me permettre une couple de minutes pour introduire un invité qui est parmi nous dans la salle du conseil. It's a great pleasure. C'est un grand plaisir en tant que maire, as mayor, and on behalf of all of council et à titre de tout le conseil, de remettre une plaque au nom de la municipalité pour reconnaître, to recognize a privileged and humbled appointment that has been done to one of our local residents that has been awarded to him. Avec nous ce soir, nous avons Monsieur Claude Lecuyer. It's a great pleasure to have Monsieur Lecuyer amongst us. For many, they know Claude for his volunteerism, pour son volontaire, son dévouement à partager son talent, to share his talent as a musician, to many fundraising events, and for great cause in the community. He is always available to attend au chateau to divert or to provide diversification and entertainment to our local seniors. Recently, Claude attended an event that took place in Callender, and the event was for his induction into the Great Northern Opry Hall of Fame. This was made as an announcement in 2020 prior to COVID. However, it was unfortunate because everything had been put on hold until after COVID. Mais récemment, la cérémonie d'intronisation a eu lieu dans la communauté de Callander, auquel M. Claude Lecuyer a été intronisé au renommée du peuple, au renommée of Great Northern Opry Hall of Fame in 2020. So on behalf of West Nipissing, on behalf of council and all residents, we are proud to say that you are one of West Nipissing many residents that make a positive difference in our community.
Thank you.
So, voici la plaque de la municipalité de Nipissing West, which if we could have, we would have provided it in 2020 when this announcement was made. And we're proud of your achievement
Well, thank you very much.
and continue enjoying what you do best.
I do.
Félicitations.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you. I'm shocked actually. Thank you. Thank you. A surprise. It's a
Almost a
surprise.
surprise.
Thank you.
Tu vas avoir une photo avec toi.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
Tu m'as pas coupé, là?
Continue.
Oh oui. Aussi longtemps que
Je vais envoyer vos deux pour qu'on sortir l'écran avec un commentaire. Mais vous deux avant, là?
Okay.
Pour ta caméras. Et puis, toute la gang, là. Ça, j'ai toute la comme. Ouais. Ça.
Tu es capable de... Ah oui.
Thank you. Thank you. Ça fait chaud au cœur.
Mérite.
Merci.
Mérite.
Ah oui, tu le mérites.
Ouais. Merci beaucoup.
Bye.
C'est bien. Wow. Ouais.
Just for everyone to know.
Bonne
Thank you.
nourriture,
Thank you, everybody.
OK, bye. Bonne soirée.
Salut, Claude.
OK. Merci beaucoup
Oh
encore.
oui,
Au revoir.
on t'aime beaucoup, Claude.
OK.
Félicitations, Claude.
Ah, merci beaucoup, là.
Are there any declaration of pecuniary interest, aucune déclaration d'intérêt pécuniaire? None? Is there a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda? Conseiller Yvon, Conseiller Normand?
It is moved by Councillor Duhaime and seconded by Councillor Berge. Be it resolved that the agenda for the Council and Committee of the Whole meeting held on October the 4th, 2022 be adopted as presented.
Are there any objections? Aucune objection? None? Carried, adopté. On a un comité à l'ordre du jour. We have one committee on the agenda for this evening, General Government, Gouvernement général, and I'll pass it on to the chair, Conseillère Lise.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Nous avons seulement qu'un item ce soir, c'est une pétition ou comment on appelle, une pétition qui a été faite pour honorer un monsieur à l'abbaye. Puis, alors, je ne sais pas c'est qui peut en discuter. On a tout eu la littérature. Ça fait une couple de réunions passées que ça s'est passé. I'm not sure if somebody could talk about it, or if we have question, or what is the process when something like that. Yes, Conseiller Léo?
Sorry, thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I've known Leo, not from the living area, but from the golf course in Verner. And I know Leo was an avid fisherman and a golfer, but he was always in the bush looking for balls. He didn't lose his ball, he was looking for balls. But Leo was a nice guy. Actually, he was a brother of Father Panel. And the other, Monsieur Panel lives in Joie de Vie, the big family. And Leo was a very nice person. And I really approve what his daughter was doing. So I really agree with it. Thank you.
Madame la mairesse?
Well, from the information that we read, the petition that we got, The individual in question was also president of the Living Community Center for many years, and he's lived in Living for more than 10 years. It was a tragic accident pertaining to the drowning. And with the petition, what is being requested is that they are seeking permission from the municipality, from council, if they would be able to have a plaque that could be put in recognition of him. And they gave us a sample. Now, as far as the request, to me, it seems very reasonable. They've also identified a specific location where they propose it, and it seems to be conducive. If there's no objection by staff, or if staff has already checked into it, I'd be all ears to see what they say. But I think the request is very reasonable, and I endorse it.
Okay, I'm gonna go, conseiller Yvon, je vais demander.
Merci, Lise. When I read when I read the letter pertaining to Leo, one thing that caught my eye, and it's very important to note that the memorial would be set up, and it was to be a reminder to even just one person to put on a life jacket. As you know, from what I read, he unfortunately lost his life just feet away from, 50 feet away from the dock approximately. And that, we should also, in having his plaque, there should be a way of saying life jackets save lives. And unfortunately for Monsieur Perron, it happened to him. So we're asking people to put their life jacket on. And there should be a signage there to say that, because I think they want to emphasize that as well. He being a good man, and unfortunately just that small incident of going into his boat and not having a life jacket cost him his life. And this point, it's very important that we point that out, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thank you.
Merci, conseiller Yvon. Mel, do you want is there any, Conseiller Fisher, it's because Mel, we want to, maybe staff have to say something, and that would answer some of the questions that the rest of us have. So if you don't mind, I'll let Mel speak.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's really not a lot to say. A member of the family came into the office this past summer and asked permission to install this plaque for all the reasons that are in the letter. And I indicated that obviously it is a decision of council before any memorial or signage is placed on municipal property. That's why they're here. That's why they got the petition together. And as you'd indicated, the spot that they've chosen is not impeding any traffic or anything like that. So that's really all there is to say.
So Conseiller Fisher?
So I just want to reiterate that I completely agree with what Councillor Duhaime said. This is a very, very heartfelt letter, and there is a bit about the life jacket at the end and never knowing and that kind of thing. And if you look online, there is lots of signage and boat safety campaigns. And I think it would be a very good idea to put a sign to the effect of, I'm not sure what we can get away with, but life jackets must be worn past this point, or please wear your life jacket, or something like that. Lake Nipissing takes lives fairly often, and some of them are preventable. So I definitely concur. I don't know whether we could do that now or if that's a budget item, but I would definitely agree that we should have some signage, as well as the memorial, some signage that encourages people to wear their life jacket, not just have it on the boat, because if it's just on the boat, you're fishing on your own and you fall into cold water, it's not going to do you any good. Thank you.
Monsieur Roberge.
Oui, merci, madame. Yeah, and I see there's a park bench. There's all kind of writing, but on my copy, I cannot read it. I do support the idea to members of council have already
You mean you're looking at the bench or?
No, the bench here, I think it's about here. But the reason I'm saying that, and I see this one is, but that I think would be maybe a good avenue also to put some sort of writing, if we have a spare bench put on the other side of the thing, or it's just a suggestion. I do support the idea that maybe we should have some sort of, from the municipality that recommends, please put on your life jacket.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Maybe the
your
mayor, I
sign.
think, has maybe a comment.
The suggestion is a great suggestion by members of council to have some type of signage, reminding people to wear their life jacket. Maybe the municipality can pursue the venue of having a sign at the boat launch, reminding individuals the importance of having their life jacket. But I think from the documentation that we got with the petition, they sort of are providing us what they would like to install.
Oh, yeah, what they want to
So I
install.
agree with that, but I think any signage that we can pursue as the municipality to have it near the boat launch before people get on their boat, to make sure that they are reminded of the importance of wearing a life jacket.
Okay. Conseiller Dam?
Completely agree with the proposal that's being forwarded in front of us. And I would go one step further. We have more than one boat launch in our municipality that basically we're responsible for. So what I would think that we would do is perhaps make it that all our boat launches, whether it's on Oldest Street or Minnehaha Bay or any of the other ones that we service, that there be a sign up saying, please wear your life jacket before getting into your boat. And that way we would cover all of our boat launches that we're responsible for. And it would, if the message is done 7 times, people will get it. And hopefully people will wear their life jacket before they get into their boat and then be safe. So I totally agree with what's being proposed in regards to the number, what the family would like to do. However, I would like to include that all our boat launches have a sign by the municipality that would ask people to put their life jacket on.
Thank you. Conseiller Rowley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Totally agree with what Councillor Ravita just said. We should have it at every boat launch. Definitely, it's a good warning. So, and I'm also in agreement with what's proposed for that memorial. Thank you.
Okay, so I am also completely in agreement with what's been said. Thank you, Conseiller Yvon, for bringing that up, and then added the other one that added to it. So thank you, and I guess everybody's in agreement. So do we need a resolution?
We can bring it to next meeting if that's okay.
Okay, no problem. Okay, that concludes mine.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We move on to planning planification. Is there a mover and a seconder? Sorry, I'm just going to get my agenda in English here, I think. For the approval of the draft subdivision plan on Burnt Lake Road. Conseiller Yvon, Conseiller Chris.
It is moved by Councillor Duhaime and seconded by Councillor Fisher. Whereas a public meeting was held on the 12th of September 2022 for approval of a draft plan of subdivision on property located on Burnt Lake Road in Sturgeon Falls, and more particularly described as part of Lot 8, Concession 6, Township Springer, owned by 2637922 Ontario Ltd. And whereas written and public submissions were made and considered by the West Nipissing Planning Advisory Committee, and whereas the West Nipissing Planning Advisory Committee has recommended to Council for the West Nipissing Municipality that the draft plan be approved subject to certain conditions, Be it therefore resolved that a draft plan of subdivision be granted for subdivision application number SUBD 2022-02 made by 2637922 Ontario LTD, Mr. David Stewart, for a draft plan of subdivision located on Burnt Lake Road, more particularly described as part of Lot 8, Concession 6 in the Township of Springer.
Any questions or comments? Carried. Adopted. Mover and a seconder for the bylaw to amend the zoning property on Burnt Lake Road. Conseiller Normand, Conseiller Yvon.
It is moved by Councillor Roberge and seconded by Councillor Duhaime. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2022-91, being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2014-45 to rezone certain lands located on Burnt Lake Road from RU-2, Rural Exception Zone 2, to Shoreline Residential, and from RU2 to Shoreline Residential Exception Zone 17, shall come into force and take effect on the date as passed.
Questions, comments? Any objections? Aucune objection? None. Carried. Adopted. Mover and a seconder to assume and dedicate land for road purposes. Conseiller Chris, Conseiller Leo.
It is moved by Councillor Fisher and seconded by Councillor Mallette. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2022-93, being a bylaw to accept, assume, and dedicate lands for public highway purposes, shall come into force and take effect on the date as passed. Part of the west half of Lot 11, Concession C, Part 2, Plan 36R 14601 in the geographic township of Caldwell, being parts of the traveled road known as Chemin Poirier Road, Verner.
Any objections? Aucune objection? None. Carried. Adopted. Correspondence and accounts. Mover and a seconder for the minutes of September 6 council minutes. Conseiller Normand, Conseiller Chris.
It is moved by Councillor Roberge and seconded by Councillor Fisher. Be it resolved that the minutes of the council meeting held on the 6th day of September 2022 be adopted as presented.
Any questions or comments? Question pertaining to page 2 of the minutes, the update regarding the AMO conference delegation. We were provided an excellent synopsis at that meeting. Did we hear back from the Ministry of Transportation?
Yes, we did. And they discussed possibilities of making a business case for Highway 639. I provided some information in addition, but I don't have a response other than that.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? None. Carried. Adopted. Mover and a seconder to approve the council minutes of September 20th. Conseiller Chris, Conseiller Leo.
It is moved by Councillor Fisher and seconded by Councillor Mallette. Be it resolved that the minutes of meeting of council held on September the 20th, 2022 be adopted as presented.
Are there any questions or comments? None. Any objections? None. Carried. Adopted. Mover and a seconder to approve the special council minutes of September 22nd. Conseiller Normand, Conseiller Chris.
It is moved by Councillor Roberge and seconded by Councillor Fisher. Be it resolved that the minutes of the meeting of council for the West Nipissing municipality held on September the 20th, 2022 be adopted as presented.
Any objections? Aucune objection? None. Carried. Adopted. A mover and a seconder for the West Nipissing Planning Advisory Committee meeting at minutes of August 8th. Conseiller Chris, Conseiller Yvon.
It is moved by Councillor Fisher and seconded by Councillor Duhaime. Be it resolved that the minutes of the Planning Advisory Committee meeting held on August the 8th, 2022 be adopted as presented.
Questions, comments? Any objections, aucune objection, none, carried, adopted. For the to approve the minutes, to receive the minutes from the various board and committees, a mover and a seconder, Conseiller Lise, Conseiller Leo.
It is moved by Councillor Lise Senecal and seconded by Councillor Mallette. Be it resolved that the minutes of the following boards and committees be received. West Nipissing Committee of Adjustment, August 8th. West Nipissing Accessibility Advisory Committee, June 23rd. And West Nipissing Public Library Board, June 9th.
Questions? None. Carried. Adopted. We have nothing pending under unfinished business on the agenda. We move on to notice of motion submitted by Conseiller Lise Senecal.
I need a seconder for that.
Yes, and I was going to say, as a mover, Conseiller Lise, and as a seconder to discuss the motion. Is there a seconder for the motion? Is there, I'll ask again, is there a seconder for the motion? I will second the motion.
It is moved by Councillor Lise Senecal and seconded by Mayor Savage. Whereas several minutes of various closed sessions were not adopted by council, whereas minutes for closed sessions held March 23rd, 2020, email approving disbursement of legal fees, April 20th, 2020, human resources investigation matter, May 26th, 2020, human resources complaint, June 3rd, 2020, human resources complaint, November 15th, 2021, HR matters CAO complaint, statement of claim meeting June 21st and 27th, 2022, July 7th, 2022, August 11th, 2022. And whereas the Municipal Act requires recording of all minutes, and whereas requesting a closed session meeting be added to the council agenda of October the 4th, 2022 to receive and adopt minutes, therefore requesting transcripts, minutes of closed session meetings held be adopted before the end of the council term. If closed session minutes not adopted October 4th by council, requesting mayor to summon a special meeting to ensure transcripts of closed session meetings are adopted by council and maintained by municipality.
Mayor, I'm going to recuse myself from this. I didn't realize.
On n'est pas là encore, ils vont discuter
Have a
pas.
motion, please.
Okay, that's your prerogative. Okay, so discussion pertaining to the motion.
Discussion.
Okay. Well, we don't have any minutes closed session this evening to adopt pending minutes. And I guess I'll ask the question, is it going to be, are the closed session minutes that are pending be presented and added to our next meeting of council?
Madam, you have a resolution to vote on before you.
Yes, but I'm still asking a question pertaining to the resolution
Well, it
before we
depends.
call it to a vote.
No, the resolution requests that. The resolution is to request the minutes be adopted. Therefore, you must debate the question, not ask whether it's going to happen or not. It's not going to happen unless council, by this resolution, approves the resolution.
We have a mover and a seconder. We have a resolution in front of us. Don't we discuss the resolution before calling it to a vote?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so I think even before calling it to a vote, are there any members of council that have questions pertaining to the resolution?
That makes more sense. Thanks.
Okay. Conseiller Chris.
So from my perspective, I don't really see that this is necessary. The Municipal Act only requires that the minutes are recorded. It doesn't require that we adopt them. Even our own bylaw, when it comes to closed minutes, it just says shall adopt where practical in a closed session. So a special meeting for it doesn't, it to my mind, made sense. And we're talking about minutes that have already been through audit and they've been filed in 2020, 2021. This is like selected minutes that haven't been approved and not all the minutes. So it's not, you can't really call it, you couldn't call it, doing tidying up or anything. And I just don't think at this point in the term that we should be having any extra meetings, and especially closed meetings, that we don't need to. So that's my point of view. Thank you.
Other comments?
Yes, I do.
Councillor Lise?
Well, I mean, I completely disagree with that. I mean, every minute should be approved, and then we had a meeting, and minutes is for a record, and when they're not approved, there's no minute need to be approved. If it's not approved, it's not approved. By all means, do what you have to do, but it was asked before, and that's the only way that I felt that needed to be done, because of putting a motion, because I did ask before when it would be, and I'm not the only one that did that. So by all means, we'll go and vote, and we'll go by democracy. But then maybe I should make that comment. It's cannot wondering why people are asking so many questions when we cannot even have the minute approved that we dealt with, and that's record. And so that's my only comment, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Just as a point of clarification, if you look at our procedural bylaw, it does state that there are duties by the clerk to keep the originals or copies of all bylaws and all minutes of the proceedings of the council. So if the clerk is to keep all minutes of the proceedings of the council, those minutes are minutes of those members of council that were in attendance. So to be able to keep those minutes, we need to adopt by resolution the minutes. We had several closed session meetings between, not even going back to 2020, we can go back to November 15, in June, July, and August of this year. As a member who attended those meetings, I wish to be able to adopt those minutes and ensure that they are kept on record. Conseiller Leo?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If I remember correctly, they are not our minutes until they're passed the council. So there is a resolution on the table right now, and we have to vote on it. They're not our minutes. We're just voting on that.
Well, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and I'm not going to debate the subject matter more. There's a resolution in front of us. I think if there's not anything new, but I need to ask the question to our CEO, why are these minutes not provided to us as we proceed in closed session? That was the understanding. If we went into close in August, we should have received the closed session minutes of July 7th. When we went into the meeting of a closed session July 7th, we should have received the prior closed session minutes. And that has always been as per our procedures in adopting closed session minutes. So I'm asking, why was that process not followed?
I don't know if, first of all, I respectfully disagree that it's an actual process. It might be a practice. Why it didn't transpire is not for me to say. It's a cleric issue. I will only speak to the fact that not much this past term has been easy in terms of following normal process. But as for why certain minutes don't come back to council, I wouldn't want to start a debate on whose roles and responsibilities, but they would be up for the clerk to put them forward at her leisure. But there isn't any requirement in policy or law to put them forward, as you suggest, the meeting after. May have happened, but as I indicate, everything in this term seems to be controversial. So, our ability to finish meetings has been seriously impaired throughout the whole term. So, not laying blame there, but it's not been, in my experience, a normal term.
Doesn't answer the question, other than trying to give a justification why the minutes are not provided to us, but that's okay.
Well, that's
Other-
the aspect.
Pardon?
You asked why they weren't there, which is justification why. Right.
Well, no, I was asking why we have not followed.
And I'm
No.
saying that's not normal procedure.
Well, that's what we've been doing for the beginning of this term. We came to an agreement, and I think at
But
the end,
Mhm.
I'm not going to debate. I asked the question, you
And you
responded.
got your
to the-
answer. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. And I think it's a reasonable resolution that's brought forward due to the fact that we're concluding our term and that minutes of closed sessions that were held have not been presented to council for its endorsement. And there may also be some of those closed session meetings that there are no recording as well. So that means there will be no record, no recording, no transcript of minutes adopted by council for certain closed session meetings. So I'm going to call this to a vote. And Councillor Elise, do you wish a recorded vote?
Yes, I wish a recorded vote, please. I thought I had put it on the motion too.
Councillor Fisher,
I'm in the negative. I do not think it's necessary. Thank you.
Councillor Larrabee,
Not necessary. Thank you.
Councillor Mallette,
No?
Councillor Berge,
Nope.
Councillor Revita.
Nope.
Councillor Lee Senecal.
Yes.
Mayor
That's-
Savage,
Yes.
defeated.
May someone advise Councillor Yvonne that we have concluded the discussion? I'd like to present a notice of motion as well before concluding this meeting. And what I'll do is, I'll just ask our deputy mayor if he wants to chair this portion. And I need direction from our clerk. When a motion is introduced at a meeting, customarily the chairperson or the clerk will read the motion. Can the deputy mayor read the motion?
I will just take a look at that. This motion.
Or I can bring it to you, Mel.
I can come and get it.
Okay,
So at a meeting may also be received by the clerk prior to the closing of the meeting. In the event that it says the chairperson or clerk shall read the notice, since you're bringing the notice, I will come and get it and read it.
okay, thank you.
Okay, member of council making the motion, Mayor Joanne Savage, hereby schedules have notice of motion to be included on the agenda for October the 4th, 2022. Subject, copy of invoices. I received questions from constituents regarding the work done by contractor Roland Larrabee for the River Valley landfill. Questions shared and answers unknown are: if the contractor Roland Larrabee has a registered business, if the contractor charges the municipality HST, if the contractor meets other requirements as per the municipality's purchasing bylaw, such as insurance, WSIB. Many of these questions can be clarified by viewing invoices paid by the municipality. As an example, the invoice paid by the municipality for 50 hours of backhoe work done at the River Valley landfill by contractor Roland Larrabee for a sum of $4,237.50 as indicated in the disbursements of July 2020. An elected official should not be required to submit a Municipal Freedom of Information Act inquiry to fulfill their duties of accountability to taxpayers. As per suggestion of Municipal Affairs, a resolution by council is recommended. Therefore, seeking council's authorization to view invoices paid by municipality to contractor Roland Larrabee for work done at River Valley landfill. And that motion would be placed on next meeting for consideration.
Move on to new business, Avant Nouvelle. And we have a recommendation before us to offer free public skating at municipal arenas. I'm not sure if our Director of Community Services is here, or you are? Okay. I'll just ask our Director of Community Services to provide us with the synopsis of the recommendation.
Through you, Madam Mayor, the memo provided to council is self-explanatory. We are recommending to council that we waive fees for public skating programs at both of our arenas, mainly due to the fact that it's problematic depending on the time of day and when we do have public skating programs at either arenas to collect the fees. We just find that with COVID, we haven't had a lot of public skating offered to the public, and this would be an opportunity to allow people to stay active and to enjoy public skating sessions at both arenas and reduce some of the operational issues that we have to staff both arenas.
Thank you. Comments, questions, Conseil Daphne, Conseil Chris.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Through you, I would like to address my question to Mr. Poulin. Do we have improved communication with the arena? I mean, like, I believe in the last term, I suggested that maybe, but then with COVID, everything fell apart, that they would be on the municipal website or in a display screen somewhere when the arena is available for different functions. Let's say from 2 to 3, it's free skating for senior, such an hour for younger crowd, or there's some figure skating at 5. This type of information, so people don't have to drive to the arena if they're not sure, to go and check on inside the building. And I know, like, COVID has turned up everything for the past 3 years there. So, but if it's not informed, is there a possibility now that I believe they have a better Wi-Fi at the arena now, and that maybe certain display or on the internet that we could have that information easily?
Councillor, all the information is there. We have all of our arena schedules posted on our website. It's updated live as we book ice. It's indicated our public programs, our public skating programs are highlighted. So everything is available for the public on the web. There's no need for anyone to drive at an arena to see what's on the schedule. It's all done on our website.
Thank you very much for the update.
Any other comments or questions? Conseil Chris?
Yeah, I just have a comment. I just think it's a very good idea. You know, the revenue that we see back when we charge is probably a drop in the bucket compared to the operational and keeping the lights on and the ice on those arenas. So you know, as much as possible we can get people to use them and get them active and get kids out there, then that's the way to go, in my opinion. We should encourage it and make it free. Thank you.
Ben moi, je pense vraiment que c'est une bonne idée. Puis, avec les 2 dernières années qu'on a passées, que les résidents n'ont pas eu, soit à l'extérieur ou à l'intérieur, aucun genre d'activité, je crois que c'est vraiment une bonne idée au moins de reconnaître le fait que c'était difficile. Puis, c'est une petite récompense pour, je ne sais pas si je peux dire pour la patience, là, parce qu'il n'y avait pas grand choix dans la chose. Là, mais non, je suis vraiment. Merci de la recommandation, M. Poulin.
Merci.
En faveur.
Conseiller Dan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through you, Madam Chair, I'd like to ask a question to Stefan, the Director of not corporate services, Director. Steph, this will not, or Mr. Poulin, this will have no impact on our outdoor rink,
On our outdoor rinks?
Yep.
No, it won't have an impact. I mean, if we're offering, I think it's an advantage. It's more opportunity. If you've got a night that it's stormy or it's minus 35 and we're offering free public skating, it's another opportunity for families to come out and enjoy our arenas. So I think it just enhances what we have to offer within the community.
Good. I just wanted to make it clear for those that do use the outdoor rinks, because I don't want them to think that we're not going to go forward with them.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Good job.
Any other questions or comments? I do have maybe just will the free public skating also be providing the same level of service that we've had in the past, where we have seniors free skating in the?
Yeah, we were hoping to get the support of council, and then council agrees with our recommendation. We will start a day program for not only seniors, but we've opened it up to the public. So we normally, I think if I go by memory, it's from noon to 1:30, 3 times a week, I believe, at the Sturgeon Arena, because we do staff that arena every day of the week. And so we will certainly have free public skating daytime at the arena beginning hopefully next week.
And for the free public skating, when we make reference to our youth, is that going to be available evenings or on weekends?
So yes, weekdays or weeknights is difficult. Our user groups basically consume ice from 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock at both arenas, Monday to Thursdays, and even Fridays now. From 4:30 to 11 o'clock every night. So it's difficult to put municipal programming without affecting our local user groups. But what we'll do is we'll have programming in the evenings on Friday nights, which is the most popular night when in Sturgeon Falls, when the Lynx are not playing a home game, or on Saturday nights, and we'll do the same in Verner. And we'll gauge the popularity and how many people come out, and we'll offer as many sessions as we possibly can. We'll also try to incorporate public skating daytime on weekends as much as possible as well, without affecting minor hockey and figure skating and whatnot too much, because ice is in high demand because everyone's back to normal now.
Excellent, excellent. And do we have a timeline of when we anticipate that this will be available at the Sturgeon Falls Arena and the Verner Arena as well?
We're going to endeavor to release a schedule at least that covers between now and Christmas, so that people know well ahead of time when the sessions will happen by next week at the latest. The thing is, for weekend public skating on Saturdays and Sundays, we're going to have to be patient for at least another 2 weeks, because we have to allow minor hockey to set all of their league schedules. So we're kind of holding ice right now to allow both minor hockey associations to schedule their home games on Saturdays and Sundays at both of our arenas. Once that's done, we'll be able to complete a full public skating schedule for the remainder of the year.
Thank you. Greatly appreciated. On procède avec la. Well, are there any other questions?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
We didn't read the resolution for that.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware that there was a resolution. My apologies. Is there a mover and a seconder? Conseiller Normand, Conseiller Alice.
It is moved by Councillor Berge and seconded by Councillor Lee Senecal. Be it resolved that council authorizes free public skating for the 2022-2023 season in both municipal arenas.
Any objections? Aucune objection. Hearing none, carried, adopted. The next item is update pertaining to the Levine Bridge speed limit application to Transport Canada speed limit. Do we have a resolution for that as well?
We do.
Is there a mover and a seconder? Conseiller Alice, Conseiller Yvon.
It is moved by Councillor Lee Senecal and seconded by Councillor Jahan. Be it resolved that the West Nipissing Municipality authorizes an inquiry into the proposed reduction in the Lake Nipissing waterway speed limit at the Living Bridge, Highway 64, in the Township of McPherson in the municipality of West Nipissing.
Discussions, comments. That was discussed at previous committee. Conseiller Lee.
I'm in agreement with this, Madam Mayor. It definitely needs to be looked into. Yes.
Okay. So since we already discussed it at length at a prior meeting, if there's no further information to be provided, we can proceed in calling this to a vote. Are there any objections? Aucune objection?
No.
None? Carried at the okay. Next item, just before concluding the meeting, I just want to make sure that all members of council may have received emails from our member of parliament, Monsieur Seri, advising us that the deadline date to provide submission of pertaining to the proposed federal electoral boundaries has been extended. Donc, la date pour soumettre l'information inscrite, les changements qui sont proposés pour les frontières fédérales a été prolongée. Donc, les gens de la communauté, les partenaires communautaires, les groupes, les associations ont encore l'opportunité de pouvoir soumettre leur documentation et d'identifier qu'ils ne sont pas en accord avec ce qui est proposé. So there is still time for any stakeholders, citizens, organizations, association to provide their written submission expressing that they don't agree with the proposed changes to the federal boundaries, the fact that we're losing a seat, what is being proposed to lose a seat, and also to divide nickel belt between different boundaries. Conseiller Normand.
Thank you, Worship. Could you please mention to the public also what's the closing date for that? I know it's been extended, but I would imagine since we're making a public statement for their information, I forgot I got it in my computer somewhere.
Well, what I'm reading in front of me, what I have right now is October 29th.
October 29th, so.
Yes.
And it has to have reached their office by then, right?
Well, there's the link and it has to be done by. That's what I'm reading right.
Thank you. And can I ask you a supplementary?
You may.
Thank you, Your Worship. Have you heard is SEMO committed to all the members will be participating as a group, or if it's not confirmed?
It's not confirmed yet.
Okay, thank you.
We're still proper wording, probably in limbo, awaiting further details.
Thank you.
And upon receipt, we'll ensure that it is shared with all members of council. Conseiller Dan?
I think it's fine and dandy that we do a group submission, but what is the municipality of West Nipissing going to be doing? Because we are one of the ones that's going to lose out. Have we given it any thought where we would present a paper for October 29th, 2022, basically highlighting why we feel that we should be, that Nickel Belt should be state as it is. Because we, West Nipissing, will be the one at lost in a sense, because we'll be grouped in with North Bay. Has anybody given it any thought that we, as a municipality, write a note and basically have it presented with arguments, such as the fact that, we've worked very well with the other partners, and we set up partnerships with our neighbors, and that we feel that this will be to a detriment of our municipality and singling out our municipality. It could be something just as a letter, or even we could have somebody from our municipality do a presentation in Timmins when they do the delegations.
Just as a response to those valid concerns, Councillor Dan, has all been done. Documentation, correspondence from this municipality has been submitted to the authorities, and also a copy of our resolution. I've already registered for an in-person delegation to present on behalf of West Nipissing. All mayors of the Sudbury East municipalities have also submitted their request for a delegation. And we also identified that we would also request a joint delegation. So all of what has been recommended has already been submitted, and we're waiting for the feedback pertaining to those delegations. Et sur cette note aussi, je rappelle à nos gens de la communauté que c'est une can, ça dépend. And in prior years, there's always been a successful initiative to assist the food bank with this. And hopefully this year will be as successful, because we all know the challenges right now with the increased cost of living and the support and the help that the food bank requires due to the number of people accessing those services. Donc, autant que possible, encourageons et appuyons cette initiative pour entraider ceux qui sont dans le besoin. This concludes our meeting for this evening. Is there a mover and a seconder to adjourn? Conseiller Leo, Conseiller Chris.
Is moved by Councillor Mallette and seconded by Councillor Fisher. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2022-94, being a bylaw of the West Nipissing Municipality to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on the 4th day of October 2022, shall come into force and take effect at the day it's passed.
Any objections or connections? None. Carried. Adopted. Mover and a seconder for the final resolution. Conseiller Lise, Conseiller Yvonne.
Moved by Councillor Lee Senecal and seconded by Councillor Duhaime. Be it resolved that council and committee meeting held on October the 4th, 2022 be adjourned.
Those in favor, en faveur? Carried.